beast! Ah!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Not the Bees, the Nicolas Cage filmography podcast. I'm Megs.
I'm Elizabeth.
And this week we watched 2018's 211. That's 211. It's an hour and 23 minutes. It has 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. And, before we get into this, can we pull up our spreadsheet, our tracker that we use? Because I think that we need to revisit Wind Talkers.
Yes.
I think we scored that movie lower than it needed to be scored. And that may just be because we watched it so early. I think it was like our third or fourth movie or something. But I think that we need to actually upgrade the scoring for that movie up to like a C.
I agree. We have it at an F.
Yeah, it's not
an F. I don't think we understood how low we could go.
I don't think either one of us did at all. No one could have foreseen this.
All right, let's change it to a C.
Yeah, let's definitely do that.
All right, that's done.
Okay, good, because this movie is bad. This movie is really bad. We start off in Afghanistan because, of course, we do, where a group of 4, quote, ex-special forces dudes murder some neckbeard and his assistant after they transfer a ton of money into a bunch of different bank accounts instead of paying the guys for some job, but we never find out what the job was. But before he dies, he gives him the name of one bank in Massachusetts. Oh, and a European Interpol agent is chasing them. She's trailing them all over the place. So then next, we ping-pong back and forth for quite a while around this lazy Massachusetts town where we meet 2 cops, Mike and his partner Steve. Mike is played by Cage. Partner Steve, his wife is Mike's estranged daughter, who also just found out that she's pregnant. We also meet a bank manager who's being called into work. We also meet a black kid being bullied in high school. And all of this has taken about a third of the runtime of the movie. Just the scene in Afghanistan and the back and forth in this little lazy town. The kid being bullied is being threatened with expulsion after punching one of his attackers in a bathroom. And when his mother, an ER nurse, pleads to prevent that, she's offered a, quote, scared straight option of doing a ride along with the cops. And now the ex-special forces guys are arming up. That's who we see next. They go to the bank and they start the robbery, but right before they arrive, one of their crew goes to a diner that's a few blocks away and he rigs one of the tables with an explosive device. While the bad guys are in the process of robbing the bank, Mike and Steve, with their ride-along Kenny, drive by and stop for a minute, and Mike notices that there's a black SUV in the red zone, and when he drives up behind the SUV, the bad guy in the driver's seat calls the phone that's connected to the explosive device at the diner to create a diversion, but Mike and Steve end up having to stay put anyways because of the kid. They can't respond to it. So then all hell breaks loose. The driver of the SUV gets out and opens fire. Steve gets shot in the leg, and he's bleeding out. The bad guy goes and steals another vehicle to escape, and somehow Mike is able to shoot him through the passenger window and kill him. The car goes off the road. Meanwhile, the kid is now in charge of keeping Steve alive with some shitty makeshift tourniquet, while Mike tries to hold the gunmen in the bank at bay while waiting for backup and medical. This firefight actually lasts for a really, extremely long time. Eventually, backup and medical does arrive. Steve is taken to the hospital. A lot of civilians and cops are dead or wounded by this point. Once they get Steve to the ambulance, the kid gets separated, and he ends up hiding in a really old Jeep in the parking lot. And apparently, he's some sort of whiz technology because he's able to get a brief charge to his dead cell phone by rigging some kind of contraption using a 9-volt battery and the inner wires of a voice-activated doll that he found in the backseat of the Jeep just so that he could call his mother, the nurse. So now we're at the hospital. Kenny's mother, she's just received Steve in the ER, and his wife has also just arrived and is refusing to leave so that the doctors can do what they need to do. And then here comes another cop. It's one of the cops that tried to help Steve get into the ambulance. She tells the nurse about her son being caught in all of this, and that's the moment her phone rings, and it's her kid. They have a brief conversation about how it's going to be okay. They'll get through this. And like all of this is happening as the cop that told her about her son is bleeding out in front of her on a gurney. Back at the scene, SWAT has arrived and Mike has an emotional meltdown. And like he's mad about the timing of them showing up, as if a fucking bomb hadn't detonated 5 minutes away from them before all the shooting at the bank started. So he mentions that the kid's missing, but he genuinely doesn't seem all that upset. And then the Interpol agent shows up. She's been tracking the bad guys through town, and when she goes to offer assistance, it's really worthless info, and the SWAT commander is rude and dismisses her. Mike eventually sneaks away to find the kid. Another cop joins him. They find the kid. Now the bad guys are trying to maneuver and escape. They send all the hostages out. One of the bad guys puts a bomb in the jacket of one of the women's one of the pockets of her jacket. When they get outside, the hostage tells the cops who take the bomb, and as one of them is just running away with it in his hand, it explodes. SWAT moves into the bank. They have gas grenades. Mike and the other cop and the kid get caught in a new crossfire taking place. They take out one of the bad guys. The other cop goes down. Mike is shot in the leg. The bad guy is coming around the car to get Mike. The kid picks up the dead cop's gun and shoots the bad guy somewhere that makes him drop his gun. Don't know where. And then the Interpol agent shows up on a roof or some shit and shoots the bad guy dead. Mike gets patched up. The kid's mom shows up while he and Mike are in an ambulance. They hug. And then for some reason, Mike's daughter, whose husband is in the fucking hospital, has left the hospital to show up in this active crime scene to see Mike in the ambulance, and they hug and I guess make up. And then we cut to a year later. Her baby was born. Steve survived. They're throwing a surprise party for Mike, and for some reason, Kenny is also there. The end. This movie is so bad in like so many different ways. Like,
this movie is terrible. This movie is hot garbage.
Like, we never learn what the bad guys were doing, like the ex-Special Forces guys.
Their motivation is never made clear.
It's never discussed. We don't know why they were stiffed on their payday. We don't learn why any of the money was transferred to an onshore U.S. bank, because that's just not how these people do that.
Yeah.
Also, why would they hit one bank directly instead of finding someone? These are supposed to be ex-Special Forces. So instead of finding some like genius hacker to help them track down the money and retransfer it to somewhere else, they go to an actual brick and mortar bank to try to steal some of the money.
Yep.
Which seems really stupid. And another point on that, it's so dumb. These are supposed to be ex-Special Forces. I don't really know anything about the military other than in order to be a Special Forces person, you have to be really, really, really smart and really, really, really like physically fit. Like those are the only two things that I know. And that's all I really need to know for this, because these guys are terrible at both of those things.
Yeah.
They continually use each other's names. They have face masks, and half of the time they don't wear them. All of the hostages know what they look like.
Yep.
And what they're called.
Yep.
They're easily identifiable.
The whole premise of putting Kenny in the car with Mike and Steve is bullshit. So he's getting beaten up in school, and the teacher only sees him knock out the other guy. They don't see the swirlies that he was being given before that. And the principal calls his mother in and sits her down and says the line very clearly, "We have a zero tolerance policy for bullying at this school." And the mom's like, "Well, then you should take some action." And they're like, "We're going to expel your son. But instead of that, he can go on a ride-along." Well, then you don't really have a zero tolerance policy, do you? You have a some tolerance policy. You have a ride-along policy. That is not a zero tolerance fucking policy. You've just contradicted yourself on the central tenet of this film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awful. The acting is so bad, like really, really, really bad. But honestly, the writing is worse.
I have read fourth grader stories that are more compelling than this.
Yeah, legitimately. I feel like every single person of color or woman that had speaking lines is either treated like shit or they're killed.
Yeah.
There was honestly no need for an Interpol agent to even be a thing. She had very
Nope.
few lines. She was unhelpful to further the plot, except at the very end when she was the quote hero. Like, there was no point of her being in that movie for her
No.
to even be a character.
Nope. Nothing she does advances the plot in any way, shape, or form.
No. And I feel like this movie is just like a circle jerk for white misogynists who love cops and the military but don't know how to write them together. I don't know. It's certainly a movie, but there's no context and no motive, and I'm honestly kind of angry that I watched it.
So this also really annoyed the fuck out of me. Lisa and Steve find out that they're pregnant.
Yeah.
And they're coming up with baby names, and he's like, maybe Mike. And she's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you suggest that we use my father's name? And then she goes off on a spiel about how her mother was dying of cancer, and Mike didn't react the way she thought he should react. And because he didn't react the way that she thought he should react, she's now estranged from him.
Yeah.
And that will never be discussed again.
Yeah.
Why spend 5 minutes on this scene explaining about how she's estranged from her father if at the end of the movie you're just going to have her show up and run to him and apologize and cry?
Yeah.
Like, none of that needed to happen.
None of it
You just needed to know that she's his daughter. That's it.
Yeah, I don't, like, there's so many things about this that just don't make sense. Like, I don't know if they were just trying to fill space because maybe the script was just that thin, but, like, we meet the bank manager for some reason. He's one of the people that we ping pong back and forth to. And,
right.
Like,
and it's his anniversary,
Mhm.
and he's being called into work, and his wife is very upset, and I feel like I know this man because you've just given me all of these little bits of backstory and all of these little pieces
Yeah.
that don't fucking matter because he gets shot in the head
Yeah.
and unceremoniously dies.
And we only, like, after we first meet him, we only see him a couple of other times.
Right.
At all.
He doesn't have, like, he has some lines when they're establishing his character with his wife. And then he has a line towards the end where he's like, if you're going to shoot me, just shoot me. And then the guy fucking shoots him.
Yeah, like, this, I don't know. This movie is, I'm
movie's
angry.
Yeah.
I'm angry at this movie. It's so bad. It's not a good movie. I don't know if this was, so, tidbits. One of the ex-Special Forces is named Luke, and he is played by Weston Cage, who is Nicolas Cage's oldest child. And I don't know if this was just, like, a passion project of his, and he asked his dad to help, and that's why, because, honestly, Nicolas Cage is the only one acting in this film.
Yeah.
Like, there are moments where, like, you just catch, like, pieces of conversations that other groups are having, like, extras in the background. And the acting is so forced. And, like, stilted. Like, it's not clean. None of it is, like, flowing. It's not easy to watch.
The waitress at the diner who gives the one ex-Special Forces guy his check.
Yeah.
And then we see her and she's like, I'm going to go out for a cigarette break. She's acting better than most of the other people in this movie.
Yeah.
She has 2 lines.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point. But she also got blown she didn't die, but she got fucking blown up.
Yeah.
She's only alive because she went outside to have a cigarette as the fucking diner was blowing. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why this movie was made. I really honestly don't. Like, looking into the movie, it is very loosely based on an incident that happened in San Francisco. It's like the longest shootout.
Los Angeles, not
Los
San
Angeles.
Francisco.
My bad. Los Angeles. It was like the longest, like, shootout in Los Angeles history or something like that. It took like 44 minutes. But, like, There are literally, didn't you tell me, I think that there were literally movies made about that incident that were better than this one. I think, what was one of them, Heat? Yeah.
Heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like somebody was like, what's really cool is the shootout scene when they rob the bank in Heat, and we should do that, but as a whole movie.
Yeah.
That
that's literally what it is.
Is like the central plot point of Heat.
Yeah.
And also, that same bank robbery has been the impetus for many a Hollywood screenplay, including Point Break, which is fucking amazing.
It is. Also, this takes place in a sleepy little town in Massachusetts. It's nowhere near the West Coast. Like, there is, I don't know how they can even call this, like, based on this event, when the only thing that it has, like, in common is a bank robbery.
Yeah.
But just because you want to write about a bank robbery doesn't mean that you're writing about an actual thing that happened. Like, the people that did it weren't specially trained. They were just two regular dudes, not four really awfully stupid, like, dumb in the face special forces. Like, stupid. This whole movie is just dumb in the face.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Nicolas Cage wasn't either, so we at least have that, I guess, going for us, that he also did not like this movie.
Oh, he didn't?
No, it's on IMDb under trivia that he thought that he didn't like the final cut of the film, and it's like, well, buddy, you're the one who went in on a shaky fucking script.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I honestly can't imagine how any other cut would make it better. There's no context, there's no premise, we don't have any information.
And you know what? You should have known the beginning of the movie where the woman is transferring the funds and she's typing, air quotes, typing.
Yeah.
And she's just pounding on the fucking keys in a random order. And it looks so bad.
Oh, man. Like, that scene felt so, like, this was made in 2018. This was 6 years ago. But it felt so dated, didn't it? Like, it had the big, like, clunky keyboard with like, every fucking key, it's still like a typewriter, like, from the 90s. Like, oh my god, this movie was so bad. It was so poorly written. It was poorly shot. It was poorly edited. It was poorly cast. Like,
it was physically painful to watch.
It really was. And it wasn't even that long. And, like, I think it's like an hour and 23 minutes or something.
Yeah, and that's the only good thing it's got going for it, is that it's short.
Literally. Because we spend, like, almost an hour in the shootout.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. This movie was completely unnecessary. It did not need to be made. It did not need to be made. I don't think Troma would have bought this movie. Like, it's that bad.
So we're giving this an F.
Yeah, we're going to give this an F.
It has heartily earned its 4% on fucking Rotten Tomatoes. What would we give the caginess of it?
I wasn't a fan. I think it's an F. I think the movie is just, overall, it's just an F. I don't think that this is a project that was worth his talent. I certainly didn't see his talent. And maybe he's right. Maybe it was due to editing. But honestly, I don't feel like he brought himself to the role. And I honestly can't blame him. But that doesn't make it, anything higher than an F. This movie is absolute hot garbage.
Yeah. All right. So that's an F performance from Cage in an F movie that,
skip it. Don't be us. Don't watch this movie.
We should when we're all done, we should do a bracketed playoff based on what we have scored these films, because I would like to know which is worse, 211 or Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, dear Lord. Honestly,
211 is worse.
The way I'm feeling right now. Yeah, Jiu-Jitsu is the better of the two. This movie was absolutely awful. And I didn't know it could get so bad. Like, I knew he had made some stinkers, and that's fine. We've seen a few. This was
next level.
This was awful. Awful. But anyways, so yeah, we're giving this movie an F. Listener, if you've made it this far, congratulations. Do not watch this movie. It is not for you. It's not for anyone but rat people. If you do want to follow us, if you like what we're doing, though, you can find us on social on Instagram at NotTheBeastPod. You can also find us on patreon.com/notthebees if you want to support what we're doing and kick us a couple of bucks here and there. We'd also love if you interacted with this episode. Give us a comment, a like, share it, subscribe, whatever it is on whatever platform you're on. But I don't have anything else. So for this week, I've been Megs.
And I've been Elizabeth.
And we'll talk to you later.